You ever find yourself sitting in front of a slot machine and you get that nagging feeling, the suspicion that it's not quite on the level, that it somehow knows you're about to win, so it tightens up? Well, you are definitely not alone. It's probably the biggest question people have in any casino. So let's just cut right to the chase, right? Are these things actually random? Or is there something else going on behind the scenes? That is the mystery we are going to unpack today. All right, here's the truth, and it's going to sound a little weird, like a riddle. The results are random, but they're happening inside a system that is absolutely not random. I know it sounds like a contradiction, but stick with me, because if you can wrap your head around this one idea, you'll understand everything. So to solve this little riddle, we've got to look under the hood, deep inside the machine's digital brain. We're talking about something called the random number generator. Okay, so what exactly is an RNG? Well, first off, it's not a physical thing, not some little chip rolling dice. It's a piece of software, an algorithm. And its entire job, its only purpose in life, is to just spit out a completely unpredictable stream of numbers, one after the other. A better way to think about it is like a digital lottery machine that's spinning at hyperspeed, 24/7, and it never ever stops. And here's how that works inside the slot machine. First, like I said, it is always running. Second, it's insanely fast. We're talking thousands, maybe millions of numbers every single second. And third, and this is the most important part to remember, the exact millisecond that you hit that spin button, the machine just plucks one single number from that never-ending stream, and that's it. That one number decides everything. So think about what that really means. By the time you see those cool graphics and the reels start to spin, the game is already over. The result has been locked in. All the flashing lights, the sounds, the animation, that's just a show. It's entertainment put on for you after the fact. Your win or your loss was decided the instant your finger pressed that button. Okay, so the number the machine picks is random. Got it? But this is where almost everybody gets tripped up. Because random doesn't mean what you think it means. In the world of slots, random does not mean fair. Let's break this down because this is the whole secret. On one hand, you've got the RNG picking a number. That part is totally fair, totally unpredictable. The RNG doesn't care what happened on the last spin. But on the other hand, you have the game's design, and that is 100% biased. The designers get to decide what each of those random numbers translates to on the screen. And this chart really just says it all. Look, the game designers might map the giant jackpot to, say, just one single number out of millions. But a losing spin, oh, that could be mapped to thousands, even tens of thousands of different numbers. So yeah, the RNG is picking a number at random, fair and square. But the game is built so that the number it picks is overwhelmingly, massively more likely to be one of the losing ones. Now that we know the difference between the random pick and the biased design, we can start busting some of the biggest and, frankly, most expensive myths out there. All right, let's start with a classic. If I just time my spin right, or if I stop the reels myself, I can control it. Come on, you've seen people do this. Heck, maybe you've even tried it yourself. The idea that your personal timing can somehow change the result. The reality? Nope, absolutely 100% false. And we already know why, right? Because the outcome was decided the second you hit spin. Anything you do after that moment, tapping the screen, stopping the reels, doing a little dance, it means nothing. It's just for show. The RNG has no memory of the last spin, so every single pull of the lever is a completely fresh, standalone event. It's not connected to what came before it at all. Okay, let's talk about the near miss. Oh man, this one is psychologically brutal, isn't it? You see two of the big jackpot symbols line up perfectly, and that third one just cruises right past. Ugh, it feels so close, like you were a millimeter away from winning it all. But here's the cold hard truth. You weren't close at all. That near miss was just a loss, plain and simple. It was programmed from the start. The RNG picked a losing number, and the software is designed to show you a result that looks close, to give you that little jolt of almost, so you'll hit that button one more time. And all this leads to the idea of hot and cold streaks. You know the feeling. A machine pays out a couple of times and you think, yes, it's hot. Or it just eats your money and you say, all right, this one's gone cold. We think these are signals, right? Patterns we can actually use. Well, here's another one of those mind-bending truths about randomness. A truly random system doesn't prevent streaks, it actually guarantees that they'll happen.
It's statistically inevitable. What feels like a hot machine is just a random cluster of wins. It's noise, not a signal.
So after all of this, why does any of it matter? I mean, knowing about the RNG isn't going to make you win more, but what it will do is give you something way more valuable than a jackpot.
Think of this knowledge as your own personal armor. It makes you immune to all those costly myths. It helps you shake off that feeling that the machine is personally out to get you. It sets your expectations straight about streaks. And maybe most importantly, it lets you stop driving yourself crazy trying to find meaning in what is, by design, just meaningless noise.
And really, this is the bottom line. You can't beat the math. You're not going to outsmart the RNG. But being clear on how the game is actually played, well, that's its own kind of win. It prevents you from making emotional decisions based on superstition, and that clarity can stop confusion from making an already expensive hobby even more expensive.